So, who would your mom and dad have over to play bridge?
Uh, the Kisslers, the Stoneys, they were uh, good good friends.
Was Mr. Stoney, was he a doctor?
No, no, he was a minister.
Oh, well, that's where we went to swim every afternoon, right?
That
Stoney's
was
pool.
Mrs. Stoney. Mm-hmm.
How did he afford that lovely home with that
She had
huge?
the money.
Oh, she had the money. Oh,
And she married Mr. Stoney, who was a minister's brother, and
Oh,
he didn't have any money, but he was very good looking, and they had a nice marriage. As far as I know,
yeah.
they had a nice marriage.
Oh, that's nice.
But it was her money.
Yeah.
Drexel money, I think.
So they would play bridge, and who were the Kisslers? I've never heard you mention them before.
They were the swimming pool.
No, the Stonies were the swimming pool. Who were the Kisslers? Yeah, we went to Miss Stoney's pool every afternoon.
Oh.
And James Taylor swam with us as a little boy.
Right. That's right. Mm-hmm. Now, what was your
Kisslers.
question?
Who were the Kisslers?
Well, she was a Kissler.
Oh, okay. And did the Tates ever play cards with your parents?
See, Mrs. Tate was older than my mother and Mrs. I don't know about Mrs. Stoney, but
that was Sam's mother.
Exactly.
And she lived with Sam and Mary Tate.
Yes, or maybe they lived with her. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, because that was a nice house, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, were there any other doctors that Meg and Charlie had over?
Hamer, Dr. Hamer, Ella Wolf's dad.
And they played bridge with you, or no?
Not that I remember.
Yeah, I don't think the Hamers and the Billings were.
They were.
They didn't socialize.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All lovely people.
Yeah. Yep. And how about the people across the street from 122 Post Street?
The Irvins and Irvin. He was a Drexel man.
Ah, okay. And then the Henry of Henry Don lived next door.
And Don was next door to him.
Oh, okay.
And Ross, my friend Martha Ross, lived across the street, and she and I were good friends. And we grew up under gracious circumstances.
Yeah. So when you had the bridge party, you said that Estelle put everything out. What kind of things did she set?
Oh, my dear, they had linen napkins, not napkins, but party napkins. And my mother and dad were in the, I won't say they were rich. They weren't rich, but they...
Comfortable.
And, of course, Mother taught at School for the Deaf for years.
So she knew a lot of people through that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And was she Daughters of the Revolution, or what social groups did she belong to?
In Kentucky. He was a banker. It's all coming back to me now.
His dad?
My mother's dad.
Oh, your grandfather was a banker in Kentucky.
In Lancaster, Kentucky. Yeah.
And how did Meg and Charlie, your mom and dad, how did they meet?
Well, see, she went to the School for the Deaf in Morganton, North Carolina to teach. And she met my dad. I don't remember the circumstances, but...
He had a practice at that time?
It was slim. He was just getting started, you know.
Eye, ears, nose, and throat doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, he started out as a primary doctor, just if you have tonsillitis.
General practitioner,
right.
I think. Was it?
He left his 3 kids and his wife, went to New York City for 3 years.
Wow.
He came home for Christmas,
Wow.
And mother taught school, raised these kids, but she had Gladys for a while and Estelle for a while.
That's sweet.
So I grew up under lovely circumstances.
Yeah. Yes, you did.
Yeah.